Doom 64 Oddities and Unexplained info. The world of Doom 64 is quite an expansive one, and many players hold it in higher regard for its atmosphere. But what you may not know is that there are some aspects of the game that appear to be shrouded in mystery. It goes so deep that even the most seasoned of players never heard of these, and might never see them at all for themselves, due to the mere fact that its mystery covers it up. That is the rabbit hole we will go down today. Staging area shadows and voices. In the first level of the game, many first-time players recall a very pronounced feeling of dread and anxiety. Some chalk it up to the music and its overall atmosphere jumping in, but what they fail to remember subconsciously is that they potentially saw much more than just good design. Some isolated reports in certain timeframes detail seeing a shadowy figure out of the corner of their eye, and it disappearing quickly when they looked at it. Another report mentioned hearing what seemed like whispering at the same time of seeing this apparition. It is unknown if it is only a result of the mind playing tricks due to the darker tones of the game, or if it truly was an entity within the level. Hectic removed room. Before the game was released, there was originally a fourth area to access in a secret level, Hectic. It is rumored to have contained a cyber demon in a small arena, catching players off guard. Random damage out of nowhere. There have been reports of players being seemingly hit by what can be assumed to be bullets, when there were no monsters around to have fired it. Little is known about which levels this is most common in, but some say it leans toward the hell levels. I suck at making maps texture. There is a placeholder texture in the game that states, I suck at making maps. It has been seen to be triggered to appear in level 6, Alpha Quadrant, upon manipulation of the game's macro scripting. It signals a missing texture. The soundtrack is a symbol of Doomguy's declining sanity. It's been theorized that the disturbing music that plays when going through the many levels of this game is actually all inside the playable Marine's head. The first levels of the game have calmer, and often mechanical-sounding tracks. When going deeper into hell, the music becomes more twisted and distorted in style, meaning the many sights of hell are slowly traumatizing you. Corrupted memory pack crash. If you attempt to access the password screen and your memory pack in the controller has died or been corrupted, the game will crash, with glitch text filling the screen. Breakdown was originally meant to be darker, and also its missing secret. Level 20, Breakdown, is perhaps one of the most well-known maps from Doom 64. Its music track alone stands out from the rest, and is regarded to be the creepiest section of gaming. However, it was going to be even more dark and creepy than what ended up being the final product. Plans were in discussion regarding nearly interactive carnage and horrific encounters, including but not limited to tortured Marines shown in detail, or demons ferociously ripping each other apart. There was also a secret that was able to be found on this level, that had been nearly removed from the map near release. In an interview with a head level designer, it was revealed that even themselves, as level designers, had forgotten how to even activate it in the first place. Of course this has been met with some form of skepticism, but it is the only information that we, the public, have of this secret. Fun levels are repurposed deathmatch maps. The fun levels, as the game calls them, are theorized to be remnants of a cut multiplayer function that the development team deemed unnecessary for some reason, having monsters added just to have a reason to keep the levels off the cutting room floor. Power-up spheres are the souls of your long-dead squad mates. Power-ups, such as the Supercharge, or the Megasphere, are thought to be the souls of the team of Marines that accompanied you, before the first Doom game canonically started. When you get close to those spheres you can see faces of anguish, along with a Marine helmet when viewing the Megasphere. In this form, they can give you assistance that they were never able to provide during life. Doomguy cries uncontrollably during story text intermissions. The story text intermissions give insight to what comes next for the Doom Marine and his experience. An excerpt from the screen after completing level 8, the final outpost. You cackle as the familiarity of the situation occurs to you. This is implying that he does in fact laugh, but it soon breaks down into nothing but sobbing tears, as the text on screen mentions he finds himself amidst hell once again. This calls back to the sanity slippage theory. After finishing the text screen, this signals the doomed Marine getting himself back together, and preparing to fight. The Mother Demon watches you physically, from the start of the game, until the end. This theory states that the Mother Demon, the final boss of the game, is hiding in the shadows starting from the tech base you land in at the start of the campaign, until the arena you fight her in. This is supported by the fact that monsters can materialize out of thin air, often behind you, or in close proximity to your face, in an attempt to give challenge as a form of toying with the Marine, and his actual sanity. Morale means everything. Multiplayer cut for reasons other than cartridge space. Multiplayer has been a subject of wonder and debate when it comes to Doom 64. Some sources claim it was cut due to the split-screen factor making it easy to see where the enemy players were, and others say it was due to cartridge space limitations and performance drops while playing. However, this theory suggests that it was actually due to angry moments during playtesting. Randy Estrella, one of the main developers of the game, was said to have been prone to rage while playing the still-in-progress multiplayer mode. This eventually built up into physical confrontations with other testers, resulting in the team agreeing, out of sorry feelings, to simply cut it from the game, in order to prevent the masses from developing that same problem. Midway employee spooked during development. It is said that a former employee of Midway, during the time of development, had quit his position within the team, due to reasons he wouldn't disclose to anyone below the top management. Theories ran wild within the offices of its busy employees, and the most common one was that he could not handle the overall tone of Doom 64. This had led some to believe the game was going to be much darker and tense as a whole. Aubrey Hodges nearly faints hearing his own creation. Aubrey Hodges, the composer behind the game's soundtrack and sound effects, was said to have been under a panic attack upon hearing what he had created for the breakdown level. The rumor goes that he had almost blindly composed that specific tune, due to a moment of writer's block. He created a sample out of a bee trapped in a soda can. After inputting some notes into the software, he previewed the track, not yet fully knowing how the sound was going to turn out. When he heard what he made, he froze in fear, and a close associate at the time reported his skin to, quote, drain, into a paleness that I could only attribute to being ghostly. He also remembers his breathing had intensified into near hyperventilation. After regaining his senses, he muttered only one sentence the rest of the day.
I am creating the literal sounds of hell.